You know, we humans like to think we've seen it all. We've climbed the tallest mountains, we've dived to the deepest parts of the ocean, we've even set foot on the moon. But what if I told you there are still places right here on Earth that are so dangerous, so secret, or so mysterious that you just can't go there? Places where trying to visit means you might not come back.
It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? In our world of Google Maps and constant connection, how can anywhere be truly, permanently off limits? Well, today, we're going to find out.
So here's our game plan. We're going on a journey, starting with islands that are basically a death sentence, then diving into top-secret bases buzzing with conspiracies. After that, we'll visit sacred mountains that nobody can climb and cursed lands that haunt anyone who gets too close, all building up to one big, mind-bending question at the end.
It is a strange thought, isn't it? While we're all looking up at the stars for the next big frontier, there are these hidden corners of our own world that are totally sealed off. Let's start with the places where Mother Nature herself has put up a massive "Keep Out" sign.
First up, let's head to some islands where taking one wrong step isn't just a simple mistake. Nah, it's more like an open invitation to a very quick, very certain end.
So out in the Indian Ocean, there's this place called North Sentinel Island. It's like a time capsule from the Stone Age. The people who live there, the Sentinelese, have been totally isolated for thousands of years, and they are, let's just say, not welcoming to outsiders.
And listen, that is not an exaggeration. Back in 2006, two fishermen got a little too close, their boat drifted ashore, and they were killed instantly. When the Indian Navy tried to fly a helicopter in to get the bodies, they were greeted with a hail of arrows and had to back off. The Indian government finally just said, okay, that's it. It's now illegal for anyone to get within 3 miles of the island. They're leaving the Sentinelese completely alone, which seems to be exactly how they want it.
Okay, now let's hop over to the coast of Brazil. There's a place whose official name is Ilha de Caima Grande, but everyone knows it by its much more terrifying nickname, Snake Island. And trust me, it has earned that name. It is, without a doubt, one of the deadliest places you could possibly imagine.
The thing that's just so insane about this place is the sheer numbers. The island is packed with over 4,000 venomous vipers. And we're not talking just any snakes. This is the only place in the world you can find the golden lancehead, whose venom is so incredibly potent, it can literally melt human flesh. The Brazilian government forbids anyone from setting foot there. It's an entire island that belongs to the snakes.
All right, so we've seen the dangers that nature can throw at us, but now let's turn to places that are forbidden by us, by humans. These are spots that are sealed off not to keep us safe, but to keep their powerful secrets in, fueling all sorts of wild theories and conspiracies for decades.
I mean, you knew this one was coming, right? Area 51, maybe the most famous secret place in the world. After that whole incident in Roswell back in '47, the official story from the government was, oh, it was just a weather balloon. But yeah, nobody was buying that. The public immediately jumped to a much more interesting idea. A flying saucer crashed, and the government scooped up the wreckage, and maybe even its pilots, and took them to this secret base to study them.
And then there's this place, hidden deep inside Vatican City, the Secret Archives. Now, secret is a little misleading. A few carefully chosen scholars can get in, but for the general public, no way. And that secrecy has kicked off some incredible theories. What are they hiding in there? Hidden gospels? Personal letters from Jesus? Priceless ancient texts? Some people even whisper they have proof of contact with aliens. Whatever it is, the Vatican is keeping its lips sealed.
Okay, the next places we're going are off limits because of barriers you can't even see. These spots aren't guarded by fences or soldiers, but by forces that feel, well, spiritual, supernatural. And for some, they're just plain cursed.
High up in the Himalayas of Tibet, there's a mountain called Kailash. Now, for millions of people, Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, this isn't just a pile of rock and ice. It is the center of the entire universe, the actual physical home of the god Lord Shiva. It's a place of unbelievable spiritual energy.
Which leads us to the big mystery here. It's not as tall as Everest, but no person has ever made it to the top of Mount Kailash. Not one. Every single attempt has failed. Climbers tell these bizarre stories about their equipment just dying for no reason, seeing strange lights in the sky, hearing these weird, unexplainable sounds. It's almost like the mountain itself just doesn't want to be climbed.
From the sacred, we now go to the truly cursed. In Italy, near Venice, sits Poveglia Island, a place so horrifying people call it the Island of the Dead. Its history is a nightmare. During the bubonic plague, it was a quarantine zone, basically a dumping ground for thousands upon thousands of people left to die.
And if that wasn't bad enough, it later became a mental hospital where a doctor supposedly tortured patients before he went mad and jumped from the bell tower. You are absolutely forbidden to go there now.
And that dark past has created a terrifying reputation. They say the soil on the island is literally 50% human ash, and you can still find bones everywhere. Local fishermen won't go near it. They swear you can hear voices wailing on the wind at night, the tortured souls from the asylum. It's a place so soaked in death and pain that the government has just let it sit there and rot, totally abandoned.
All right, for our last category, we're heading into the deep end. We're going to places where the normal rules of our world just seem to fall apart, where physics gets weird and reality itself seems to bend, creating mysteries that science still can't quite figure out.
You know the name, the Bermuda Triangle, that infamous stretch of the Atlantic where countless ships and planes have just vanished. Poof, gone without a trace. The theories are all over the place. Some people think there are weird magnetic fields that mess up all the equipment. Others point to massive, sudden rogue storms. And then, of course, you've got the people who believe something paranormal is at work, like a portal to another dimension.
At the foot of Japan's beautiful Mount Fuji is Aokigahara. It's a stunningly gorgeous forest, but it holds a deep, deep sadness. It's become tragically known as a place where people go to end their lives. But people who live nearby believe there's something else at work here, an older, more sinister force living in those trees.
People who have walked through the forest, even on official paths, talk about these terrifying experiences. They say they see these weird, dark shadows flickering between the trees, just at the edge of their vision, and get this overwhelming feeling that they're being watched.
They also talk about hearing whispers, disembodied voices that seem to come from everywhere at once. The local belief is that the forest is haunted by yurei, angry, tormented spirits. They say this force feeds on sadness, luring people deeper and deeper into the forest until they get lost and can never find their way out.
So, wow, we've gone from an island stuck in the Stone Age to a forest filled with whispers. We've seen places locked down by governments and places protected by gods. What a trip.
Which really just leaves us with one last big question. Are all these things, the deadly snakes, the lost plains, the haunted islands, the sacred mountains, are they just good stories, spooky campfire tales? Or in this world that we think we have all figured out, is there some real hidden truth in these forbidden places?